What if Earth had rings like Saturn? This question comes from planetary physicist Dr. Amanda Rodriguez, who asks, if Earth suddenly developed a magnificent ring system like Saturn's, composed of ice, rock, and debris orbiting around our equator, how would this transform our planet's climate, navigation, and human civilization? Let's imagine it's a clear Monday evening when astronomers worldwide notice something impossible appearing in the night sky. Over the course of just a few hours, a brilliant band of light begins stretching across the heavens from horizon to horizon. By dawn, Earth has somehow acquired a spectacular ring system spanning 280,000 kilometers in diameter, visible as a glowing arc that dominates the sky like a celestial highway. The immediate effect would be breathtakingly beautiful. From anywhere on Earth, you could look up and see this magnificent structure arcing overhead, brighter than the Milky Way and visible even during daylight hours. The rings would appear widest when viewed from the equator and would look like a thin line when seen from the poles. Every sunset and sunrise would be transformed into a spectacular light show as the rings caught and scattered sunlight in brilliant displays. But within days, the practical consequences would become severe. The rings would cast shadows across Earth's surface in a predictable pattern that changes with the seasons. Countries near the equator would experience regular ring eclipses where sections of the planet would be plunged into twilight conditions for hours each day. These shadow zones would shift gradually throughout the year as Earth orbits the Sun and the angle of the rings relative to sunlight changes. Agriculture would face immediate disruption. Crops in equatorial regions would struggle with the dramatically altered light cycles. Some areas would receive reduced sunlight during critical growing seasons, while others would experience unexpected patterns of light and shadow that would confuse plant circadian rhythms. Global food production could drop by 15% in the first year alone as farmers struggle to adapt to the new light patterns. The most dramatic immediate effect would be on space travel and satellite communications. Earth's new rings would create a debris field that would make launching rockets extremely dangerous. Satellites already in orbit would face constant bombardment from ring particles, and the International Space Station would need to be evacuated immediately. The entire global communications network dependent on satellites would begin failing within weeks. But here's where it gets really interesting. The rings wouldn't just be pretty decorations in the sky, they would fundamentally alter Earth's magnetic field and atmospheric dynamics. The massive amount of material orbiting our planet would interact with Earth's magnetosphere, creating new aurora patterns and potentially disrupting radio communications worldwide. More surprisingly, the rings would change Earth's climate in ways nobody could predict. The shadow bands would create temperature differentials that would alter wind patterns and ocean currents. The familiar weather patterns that have existed for millennia would shift dramatically. Some regions might become wetter, others drier, and seasonal patterns could change entirely. The psychological impact on humanity would be profound. Every culture on Earth would need to reinterpret their mythology, religion, and understanding of the cosmos. The night sky, which has looked essentially the same throughout human history, would be permanently transformed. Children would grow up in a world where looking up means seeing a constant reminder of our planet's cosmic nature. Navigation would be revolutionized. The rings would provide a permanent celestial reference point visible from anywhere on Earth. Sailors, pilots, and explorers would have a constant guide that never moves relative to Earth's surface, making navigation more precise than ever before. Ancient navigation techniques would need to be completely relearned. But after about 6 months of living with Earth's rings, scientists would make a disturbing discovery. The rings aren't stable. Analysis of their composition and orbital mechanics would reveal that they're slowly spiraling inward due to atmospheric drag and gravitational perturbations. The beautiful ring system that has transformed human civilization would only be temporary. Here's the twist that changes everything. Further investigation would reveal that the rings aren't natural at all. They're composed of highly advanced metamaterials that couldn't possibly form through any known natural process. The ice and rock in the rings would turn out to be sophisticated technology designed to look like natural debris. The shocking truth would be that Earth's rings are actually a massive construction project built by humanity's own descendants from the far future. Time-traveling humans from the year 3024 had traveled back to install this ring system as a planetary engineering project designed to save our civilization from an approaching climate disaster. The rings aren't just beautiful, they're a sophisticated climate control system. The shadow patterns aren't random disruptions but carefully calculated interventions designed to cool specific regions of Earth and alter atmospheric circulation patterns in ways that will prevent catastrophic climate change. The agricultural disruption is temporary, but it forces humanity to develop more resilient farming techniques that will be essential for long-term survival. The supposed instability of the rings is actually a controlled descent pattern. The future humans designed the system to gradually lower specific sections of the rings into Earth's atmosphere, where the advanced metamaterials will disperse and begin atmospheric modification processes that will stabilize global climate for the next millennium. Most remarkably, the psychological transformation of seeing rings in the sky every day is intentional. The future humans knew that only a dramatic, constant visual reminder of our planet's cosmic vulnerability would inspire the global cooperation necessary to address climate change before it was too late. The day Earth got rings would mark the beginning of humanity's first successful collaboration with our own future. A gift from tomorrow designed to ensure that tomorrow actually arrives.